In 2024, a quiet storm began in East Africa. Kenya, known for its rich culture, breathtaking landscapes, and entrepreneurial heartbeat, became the unlikely birthplace of a global movement. A revolution, not of politics, but of a generation. A generation that refused to follow the rules of the past. A generation that decided to take control of their own future. This is the story of how Kenya sparked the Gen Z revolution, a wave that would soon spread across continents, inspiring young people in Madagascar, Tanzania, Nepal, and beyond.
In the latest protest in the capital, it's the younger generation taking to the streets, a sight never seen before.
Kenyan youths demanded transparency, accountability, climate action, inclusion, and economic fairness. What began online quickly spilled into the streets. But this wasn't chaos, it was coordinated, it was bold. It was young people realizing their collective power. And before long, the movement had a name, the Gen Z Revolution.
President William Samoei Ruto was forced by the majority of the Kenyan people that turned up in the streets to reject this bill. This confirms our correct analysis that anything that the Kenyan masses have won because of the popular struggle. The rejection of the Finance Bill 2024 is not just the end, but the beginning of a new struggle to overthrow the corrupt government in power. The Kenyans do not want an imperialist puppet being sponsored by the Joe Biden administration to oversee their local affairs. The young people in the streets are in the streets because even if they remain at home, they will die. They don't have food, so they better die with the police than die at home. The President William Samoei Ruto will not escape the wrath of the people unless you get the dignity for all and not for a few.
Unemployment, political stagnation, outdated systems, and Kenya's wave showed them that youth didn't have to wait for permission to demand change. Soon, the Kenyan spirit of online activism mixed with the unique culture of each nation. The movement became decentralized and global, spreading not through leaders, but through ideas. The Gen Z revolution had become a global phenomenon powered by smartphones, creativity, and pure determination.
I am honestly tired of decisions being made on behalf of us that do not benefit us.
How are you mobilizing? How did you find out about the protests?
Online. I am a food influencer, and so every information is online. There was also a USSD code in case you do not know where you need to be or who you need to be with. And I love the fact that the organizers have put in place contacts and every detail that you will need to make this protest successful.
Coders, designers, activists, and musicians all found themselves part of the same wave. Leadership did not come from politicians or institutions. It came from ordinary young people with extraordinary ideas.
Check this out. This is the People's IEBC. It's the system that will ensure no one rigs the election come 2027. This is our prototype. Our prototype is ready, basically. Of course, there's a lot to do before it becomes production ready. We need to add even more verification mechanisms. We need to decentralize it so that I or anyone cannot alter the result. And so that will be progressively doing through the course of this series. And if you wanted a sign to register as a voter, go register. This is your sign. No one will steal your vote, hopefully, come 2027.
Global media took notice. International organizations reached out. Investors, NGOs, and policymakers began paying attention. The world realized something important. This was not just a group of young people shouting online. This was a generation rewriting the script of leadership. But no revolution is smooth. The Gen Z wave faced resistance, both online and offline. Governments called them unfocused. Critics said they were chaotic, entitled, or unrealistic.
The situation in Kenya, where demonstrators are calling for the mother of all protests, to coin their phrase today. Earlier, police fired tear gas at protesters, and we've just learned our own journalists. Let's get straight to Larry Mado, who is in Nairobi. And first, can you just explain what's happening around you right now?
So, Becky, police are once more dispersing protesters who've tried to gather throughout the day. They've not allowed them to gather. And so that is the scene. That's why this is supposed to be rush hour, but it's all empty. I can hear flashbangs on this side of the street because that's been what we're hearing the whole day, as police have really been in every street corner making sure that nobody gathers, even though they said it would be safe for peaceful protesters to protest as Kenyan law allows. They haven't allowed any of them to gather the whole day, Becky.
Police clashes, misinformation, and online trolling became daily battles. The revolution was forced to confront a new kind of challenge, the digital battlefield. But instead of fading, Gen Z adapted. They learned digital security, anonymous organizing, fact-checking, and counter-messaging. They turned weaknesses into strengths, proving that the movement was more resilient than anyone expected. The Gen Z revolution is not just trending hashtags. It is real, visible change. In Kenya, community cleanup efforts turned into environmental programs. Youth-led digital campaigns led to policy conversations. Pressure from young voters influenced political decisions. In Tanzania, young innovators created apps addressing local issues. In Madagascar, youth-led climate groups gained global recognition. In Nepal, online activism grew into organized community projects. Across all these countries, a single message was clear. Leadership is no longer about age, it is about action. The Gen Z revolution started in Kenya, but it is no longer Kenya's story alone. It has become a global signal, a sign that the youth are stepping into their power. They are bold, they are connected, they are unafraid, and they are reshaping the world one video, one post, one protest, and one idea at a time. This is the Gen Z revolution, and it is only just beginning.
Who's leading you as Gen Z with this protest? Who's leading this?
I don't think there's a specific leader. We are doing it scared, we are doing it tired, but we are doing it regardless. And let me tell you, this will have an impact in the future, and that's what we're here for.